Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 4th to the 10th of January 2016. We have a lot going on many different channels this week, so to break it down, we've just had Mars go into Scorpio, and Mars will be in and out of Scorpio for the next 6 months in a retrograde. So we'll go all the way through Scorpio and into Sagittarius, retrograde back into Scorpio, and then go all the way back forwards again. So a long phase here, backwards and forwards all the way through to July. And Mars is our inner light activated, it's the sun's light directed, it's our dynamism, our passion, our catalyst, our energy, and our active force where we put our will. So the inner spiritual warrior in the sign of Scorpio, the alchemist. Scorpio is all about the deep inner waters, the subconscious and the shadow realms. It's what lurks beneath, what needs to be brought up to the surface to be aired and viewed and released. So this is the alchemy. We have to be very responsible and look at our own inner world and our own inner motivations to see what's going on there. Anything that's pressed, any button that's pressed inside of us is because there's something inside of us. It's not the other person's fault. If something flares up, it means that there's something that's been hiding that wants to come up to be released. So a huge amount of responsibility. We have to be our own psychologist, we have to be our own alchemist, and we have to go in willingly and bravely. As Mars was once the ruler of Scorpio, it's about that bravery to go in, be lit on the inside, and to pull out anything that's not serving us. So this powerful and potentially very empowering aspect will be working away in the background for the next 6 months. On a shorter term level, by the time we get to Tuesday, we have Mercury turning retrograde in Capricorn. So since about the 20th of December, Mercury has been in Capricorn going forwards. We now have entering the retrograde phase. So Mercury is our processing mind, where we tune in and receive inspiration, that stream of consciousness of thought, that perception. And Capricorn is our foundations, it's what we stand on and for, our backbone and our discipline. But the 2 words that I like most for Capricorn are dignity and honour. So discipline, dignity and honour are up for revisal here with Mercury in retrograde in Capricorn. So will we find that inner dignity? Will we see where we've been acting dishonourably? Or will we learn to value what has true honour and stop giving our attention to any fakery? So there's a huge reality, a huge responsibility again, but a real clarity that can come through from this, giving us the core strength and the discipline to act with dignity and honour, to know ourselves and who we truly are, what we fundamentally resound with, and then everything else that's not of that vibration will fall away. So from now until the end of January, that's Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, shoring us up, securing our thoughts, aligning them with our value, and giving us that core strength. By Wednesday, the Sun and Pluto meet, and this is a very, very deep combination. The middle degree of Capricorn, we have the Sun meeting Pluto. This has a tectonic feel, some very, very deep rumblings beyond the audible scale, but something that will be felt even beyond the cellular level. There's a certain distant but deep and unavoidable power that comes through from this meeting. So the Sun and Pluto in Capricorn on Wednesday, lighting up where our power comes from, where our power to heal ourselves can be revealed, and where in order to be healed we need to be strong, we need to be authentic, and we need to be able to stand alone and strong and fortified. So this goes very well with the beginning of the Mercury retrograde, the Sun meeting Pluto at that middle degree, showing us where the centre is and where we need to be coming from, and reclusing back to, in a way, that deep centre that is our structure, and that it is where we're pulsing out from, so that we're not transmitting anything inauthentic. We go in and we make sure that transmission is pure and strong, and then we can let those vibrations release out into our reality and bring back to us on a more authentic level. By the end of the week, we have a number of events all happening at once. So into Thursday through to the weekend, we have Venus approaching Saturn in Sagittarius. This will hit straight to the mark, Venus being our heart and Saturn being the teacher and the structurer. We have the opportunity now to see and to feel and to connect with our self-worth and self-love and self-esteem. This is where most relationships go wrong, because people are looking for that validation from the other person when it needs to come from them first. So a very good one for creativity as well, because it's not just about creating for the sake of it or distracting ourselves, but where does that really come from? What's the message? What do we actually want to create and why? What's the point? So Sagittarius gets straight to the point, and I feel that from Thursday through the weekend, so will we. We'll want to go straight to the point of who we are, what we stand for, and to reconnect with those core values in order that we can stand up tall and strong. By Friday we have Jupiter turning retrograde in Virgo, and this is a long, slow process. The whole of it will take us up until early May. So Jupiter is our majesty. It's where we take that solar energy and we radiate it out in a regal fashion, in authentic fashion, and we own our world and our experiences. And Virgo can be the super producer. It can be the one that wants to do everything at the right time and be very organised. But turning inwards, we need to turn that organisation inwards as well and attend to our own house. So a very useful energy going on there with all this other work that we're doing with the retrogrades in Scorpio and Capricorn. We also now have Jupiter retrograde in Virgo saying go in and do your own inner homework. Put everything in place. Make sure that whatever you're attending to is worthy of you. And in a way, doing less is more. Is it all about activity, or is it all about attending to the vibrational state of being, the essence of ourselves? So sowing that seed with Virgo, just nourishing that essence and allowing that time to grow, but maybe a bit of weeding that needs to be done in the first place to clear the space and to prepare the soil. And this happens on the same day as the dark moon, so there's plenty of time to start releasing, to shed some of the heavy burdens, some of the overactivity, overloaded workloads, and reassess where our real power comes from and needs to go to right now, and clear the way. This whole process will leave us much more clear and light, as in not heavy, and fresh, because I think we've picked up a lot of debris over the last few months, and the dark moon will act as a catalyst to help us go in with this Jupiter retrograde and make that space the necessary space and purify that space so that we can nurture that seed and make room for something more honest and appropriate to grow. So the dark moon always leads to a new moon. So by the weekend we have the Capricorn new moon. So we've got Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, we've got the Sun meeting Pluto in Capricorn, and now we've got the dark moon going into the new moon in Capricorn. It's all about Capricorn at the moment. Normally at a new moon we like to set intentions. However, with all of this retrograde activity, I feel our intention should be to go backwards, to strip right back to the core, to release the burdens and the responsibilities, to reconnect with our core values and our purpose. There's a sense of purpose here, and purpose can be very, very simple. It doesn't have to be some grandiose plan that we can show to other people, but to reconnect with our purpose of being. As Capricorn is the sea goat, it's not just the mountain goat, it's the sea goat, which is the bridge between spirit and matter. So we can reconnect within ourselves where those two meet. We're not material beings trying to achieve spirituality. We're actually already both, and if we're releasing a lot of the psychological and societal debris that's been built up over the decades, then we get back to that still pure point where all is one and all is merged, and we can be reconnected with our fullness. So as you can see, that's a lot going on for 1 week. It's not even day by day. All these channels are running at the same time. So we're not looking for clarity. We're not looking to completely understand everything that's going on the outside. Whatever's happening, will just be a trigger message to go in and have a look at what's going on the inside. And some of these phases will pass like clouds in the sky, and others will actually lay out a road before us that we need to travel. So to recap, Mars into Scorpio, backwards and forwards right until July. Inner alchemy and clearing out, getting rid of anything that's manipulative or jealous or possessive, or our trigger points from insecurity on the inside, so that we can be magical beings. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, aligning our thoughts to how we manifest our reality, but getting back to our dignity and our honour, and to come from that place to be the highest qualities of ourselves, rather than acting in a low human form. Sun meeting Pluto, very much connecting us with that, the deep inner power, and the middle degrees of Capricorn, just feeling those tectonic shifts, those base vibrations that reverberating through our essence and blasting away anything that's blocking our energy. Venus meeting Saturn, connecting us back with our self-esteem and our self-worth and our self-love and our self-discipline, so that we're again not looking from the outside for any validation, but we're really falling in love with that inner structure and our inner strength and courage. Jupiter retrograde in Virgo up until May. Seek your inner clarity, tend to your garden, clear the way, find the pure seed that you want to plant and nourish and allow to grow in its own time. Dark moon starting that releasing process very powerfully Friday night, shedding unnecessary obligation and responsibility where we've given our attention to things that don't actually support us, trying to make structure from the outside rather than the inside, and a chance to reassess and clear the way, to feel lighter and brighter and released. And then the new moon in Capricorn, not making intentions, but having the intention to go in and strip back, to return to all of those core values and realign to the essence of our highest selves, where spirit and matter are one and nothing gets in the way, and to kindle that inner light. So a complex week there, but everything's almost working as a team again, just many levels. But if we stay centred, if we be honest, if we act with honour and dignity, and if we're prepared to look inside ourselves for the answers, rather than projecting and blaming others or trying to create external support systems, then this is a very empowering week, and will definitely see us light and strong to start living from a higher vibration. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to learn more about astrology and how you can apply these energies to your own chart, then please do contact me. I have an online members group, I have online courses, and I do one-to-one readings in person and over Skype. So there's many different ways that you can learn to connect with astrology, to work with these timelines, to harness these energies, and to feel more centred in this time of heightened change. So if you'd like to contact me to tune in deeper, then my email address is zoehind7@gmail.com.